I did it! Again! Hi guys! Today, we have a bit of a more advanced topic for, I think, some of you guys. And it relates to crafting. Because my character is at the point where crafting is really the way forward in terms of progression. So, let's first look at my character as a point of reference. Boom. Right. And actually, let me move this thing down here. Because otherwise, you guys will yell at me. Okay, first off, my character right now is, 97. We got the labs done. This seems to like this is done. We got some decent jewels, right? We got the reasonable gear and everything. Like every single slot here is reasonable. However, how do you go from a claw something like, say, this to this? Because this is my new claw. Hey, that's a good claw, right? Right. It's like 430 something LE DPS, like 500 something total DPS. With an attack speed roll, crit roll, and attacks with its weapon pen, elemental resistances. And since we're tri-elemental, we're scaling tri-ele, the pen is really good. Right. So there's a few things. This one is the easier one. We're gonna go with the easy step first. I'll show you some other cool things as the video goes on. But first, we'll just focus on the weapon for now. So the way I went about getting this weapon is a three-pronged, two-pronged approach. There's like a multiple way you could do it. Okay, first off, essences are really good because you can force a fairly high. Let me go here. We can force a fairly high. So this is craftofexile.com. Very good resource to learn from. Okay, as you can see here, the T1 roll down here, which we're not hitting, we're hitting the T2, but it's 108 weighting. That means if you're just using alterations to hit this roll, you have to go through 683 alterations to hit this. However, you could hit, and here's a little trick, if we want to see what the odds of hitting either of the three. What's the last one? Fire damage and lightning damage. Right, that's either the three. You hit either of the three T1 rolls, like by categorizing them this way. That means it'll hit one of these because it's in the same block. That means it just has to hit one of these in 228, right? But then we also want a second roll. So let's see what the... Okay, let's remove this and this. It's a little easier. However, assume you wanted to hit two rolls at the same time. That means you would have to use a Chaos Orb, right? Let's use a Chaos Orb and see what the odds are of hitting two of these. Oh no. That's either of these two and then a single one. It takes you an average of 55,000 chaos to hit a double T1. Probably slightly lower because this singles out this one. It could be any combination of these, but let's just say it's more than... It's very unlikely to hit either of these two combined, right? Now, let's just say we are okay with hitting any combination of T2 rolls. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's any combination of T2. So it's 2,000 chaos, right? So now you might think, wow, that's a lot. So how did you manage to get this? Oh. Well, now let's see. So that's in 2,000 chaos. Let's see. What I'm doing is still kind of hard to get. Does it have essences? It does. All right, let's say I am using Wrath. And I want to hit one of these two. What are the odds? And now it can hit that. Right, here we go. One in 41. Down from 1 in 2,000. Essences are good. Okay, and that's what I'm using. I was using this, which gives you the T2 roll. So, instead of me having to go through with a Chaos Orb, you know. Oops. With a Chaos Orb to get, if I want to hit these two together, it's 1 in 4,000. If I want to hit, can I put this in P3? Is that P3? Ah, yeah. But if I want to hit the full combination, or if I want to hit either the two together, and then there is, you can make it slightly more. It's slightly more. It's slightly better than this, right? But even if it was like 1,000, think about that. Going from like a 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 41, that's insane. And that's the power of essence. So that's how we get to the double the flat roll. Now, what we really want is we want to be lucky, and we want to hit it with this as well, right? Now this, again, if you want to hit attack speed on there. So what we're hoping for here is that we're hoping like to hit any combination of this, basically. I would say, I would even go down to this. We're hoping to hit any combination of this. Yeah, these can be on the same. We're gonna go back to the essence. As you can see, these numbers are crazy. Go back to Wrath. Oh, this is like so scuffed. Can I not add? Oh, right. So I want to hit right. This is how it works, right? So I was being stupid there. That was just me. Sorry. Let's say we want to hit either of these two in column P, or in the second column, and then either of these two. This is basically, we want to hit 3 rolls, right? The one is locked because of this. The second has to be one of these two in the T2 slot. It can hit T1 as well. There's a chance it hits the T1 as well, which is really nice. But and then any combination of these crit rolls and these attack speed rolls. That's 1 in 250, right? Down from like 1 in way too much, right? This it makes it 5 or 6 times harder. So going from 10, yeah, it basically goes. Like, let's, even if it was like 1 in 1,000, it goes 1 in 6, 7, 8,000 versus 1 in 200, right? So you see how forcing one roll and not having to roll a triple and just a double makes it so much easier. So step number 1, essences are great for this. We can use attack speed, crit, and flat Ellie rolls. I would suggest that you use the flat Ellie rolls because it's much harder to hit the T2 plus rolls of Ellie than it is of the reasonable attack speed crit rolls. So just using those, and I don't think they're that expensive. Like Shrieking, and it's Shrieking, Anger, and Wrath. You can use any combination of the 3. You can use this in a pinch to get your first weapon. That's fine. The crit and attack speed. But yeah, that's step number 1. So we get your double flat roll plus attack speed or crit. Now you want there to be a prefix open. Why? And it's fine to have a suffix open. You prefer it even. Because now we're gonna go Ashling, right? So Ashling is T for betrayal.
Exile?
Right, it's this one. And then you put Ashling in research and you run it. She needs to be level 3. She gets bumped to level 4. You can go to her little lab, and then you can put a mod on your, you can put an unveiled mod on your item. Now here's where it gets a little tricky, okay? So what we would really want, right, is to do 2 Ashling mods. So the question is, can you go to Ashling, put one mod on, and then make another lab, go back, and put Ashling on again? No, you can't. Even though the game has taught us that all these, like, not bright, but they're just the normal blue mods are permanent mods, they're not crafted anymore. It's crafted for, it's like, Ashling considers it crafted for some reason. Even though the game has taught us that this is not a crafted mod, right? Because you can use the crafting bench on top of this with one of the master mods, but you can't unveil a second mod because there's a block. So the only way to get 2 unveil mods with Ashling, and only Ashling, just using her, would be to get the double unveil immediately. Now, there's a few tricks now that we can use. Okay? So, step number 1 is this. And I'll show you, and then you might be able to figure it out. Okay, so here's the first thing. This, because I thought to myself, with all this meta crafting, because meta crafting sometimes circumvents some blocks and some ideas. So I thought this. What if we put a mod on there? And so what people have been doing so far, Steel did a pair of gloves where he did Essence of Delirium on a pair of gloves, which gives you more damage over time, in socketed slots on a glove to get the 5 link. And then suffixes can be changed meta mod, and then Chaos Veiled Orb to then force a Veiled Orb there and remove the prefixes, right? Rather than having to set up Ashling all the time, so you can skip the Ashling step. But what happens with this is that you do scour the prefixes and then apply some random prefixes. 1 to 2 plus an unveiled mod, or 0 to 2. You can get nothing as well, because any item can roll between 4 to 6 mods. So when you do a veiled mod on that item, it can actually just give you a veiled mod and nothing else. And then you get the essence plus a veiled mod. However, that doesn't tell us whether or not we could do a metacraft with a veiled mod already, with a chaos veiled orb, to get another veiled mod. Which, in this case, right? So this is my idea, or my thought process. Does the chaos veiled orb have the same restrictions as Ashling? Because in some cases in this game, whenever you try to, like so there is the meta crafting in Harvest, where it would tell you if you had like meta mods on there and you try to apply a mod onto an item, it would say cannot find a role on X slot. There's no slot full. So you have to spam it a bit. And then, because if it had kept hitting, I think it was like, if it kept hitting, I think it's like cannot roll attack mods, and it would try and hit like suffix, and it would say nothing available, nothing available, but then it would finally hit the prefix, and it would just pop it. So you'll have these like interactions where the game says, well, we can't put it here because there's no room, or there's no whatever, and you only get there through the meta mod. And it's not explicitly said within the game, so you have to, we basically have to experiment to see if it works. So this thing here with the veil mod could very much function the same way as actions. We have to test it. So we test it. And what do we find? Oh, what was that? So here, effect of curse is a veil mod. There we go. And he put another veiled mod on there. And this is a prefix. So this is a way to get a 2 veiled mod item from having an item with nothing on it. Basically, acting first, metacraft, veiled mod. So what does this mean? This actually means that what you could do is if you had this like really nice weapon here that say had no attack speed, let's say that you got your item, okay, with a say, let's say you rolled your item, okay, and it had 4 attack speed, and it had like T1, T2 plus the veil mod on the attacks with this weapon penetrate, okay? That's terrible. That's awful because, well, we don't want that 4% attack speed. So you could put a meta mod on there, put a veiled chaos orb, and then go for the unveiled attack speed, or you could go for another one of the veiled mods, like this one, for instance, and you would get either the unveiled attack speed, the unveiled crit multiplier, to guarantee the unveiled mod on the suffix, to then most likely, because it's very, very rare that you get the full 6. What you can do though, this is actually, oh, I just thought about this. This is actually why it's so good. If the veil mod fails and you get utter crap and it blocks complete 6, you don't unveil. You can remove the unveiled mod with remove crafted mods. Because it's still it's a crafted mod still. So you can, and then you can repeat the process with prefixes can be changed, veiled chaos orb. And you can get your, you can unveil the attack speed or the crit multi and then craft attack speed. And then either get like the crit chance or something. You can unveil crit chance, you can unveil attack multi, you can unveil crit, and then whatever else is on there, you just fill in what you need. Cool! Now, if you want to get a triple unveiled item, the only way you can do that is you need to have a double unveiled item first on either prefix or suffix and then do the chaos thing. So you can actually get 3 unveiled mods, but it requires a double unveil first on either prefix or suffix, because you have to use the meta mod stuff. But then, actually, I don't even know if you can have more than 2, but this suggests that we can. And then you do the meta morph, and then, so you could have, say, min endurance, min frenzy, the ones with the on kill rolls, and then you could metacraft unveil onto the prefix. That's a thing you could do. That's pretty cool. So whenever you find a good base with double unveils, make sure to check if it's double unveiled on the same affix slot, prefix or suffix, because then you could metacraft it the other way around and get a triple. Just a little thing. Now I want to show you a couple more things here before. So this is a bit of a longer video. This is what, so Crypt did a smart thing on a chest that I want to share. Our good old Cryparian, you know. So this was his process. Find influenced evasion. Oh, can we make this a little? I'll put myself up here. Okay. So if you want to make this chest, okay, this was the chest he made. This is not going to be the chest I made, but I think there's something here that I want to share, and this is the neat part of it, which is this essence mod here. So basically, it's this. Find influence chest, because he wanted one of these chests, right? Where he could Warlord Crusader. I guess these are the owner. Okay, I'm not gonna look at that right now, but I trust what that's. It's because he wants to then. Well, I'll explain to you. Find this eye level 83 or over. That's because that's where the T1 roll of what he's looking for is. That's why you need this. Harvest roll the influence, right? So it means like, well, find any influence evasion chest, anyone. Then you can harvest roll with the randomize the influence. That's something we can still do with harvest. One of the few good things that are left. Right, then he preps it with making it to a 6 link with the quality up first. Then you craft, and this is another thing, just quick. What he's doing here is this, which I also do when I make chests. You craft on quality, because quality stacks on top of the base quality, and you can get up to 46 quality with this. So having higher quality gives you a higher chance of linking with fuses. So I think this number is fairly correct, 700. That's the average, down from like 1,000 with 20 quality, I think. And it goes a little higher if you have none. Or if it might be 1,000 with nothing, I don't remember. But it makes it easier. Then he uses Deafening Scorn, and he blocks the suffixes. Now this is important because he's going to metacraft again like we did before. Right, it's the same idea that we did with the claw with the prefix, right? If you want to metacraft. Where you block out the prefixes, so whenever you veiled Chaos Orb, it doesn't add a trash affix to the either suffix or prefix that you're trying to block. Because when you Chaos Orb this, and if you haven't blocked the triple on either suffix or chaos, it can add a random one on that one. So you want to fill it. Then he crafts cannot be changed, and then he uses Harvest again with the fire modifiers. Because fire modifiers will give him, in this case, physical damage taken as fire. As we can see here. Right? Physical damage taken as fire. You want that to hit the T1 roll. It's a 50-50 chance. So you might have to repeat this step. Right. If you break this step by hitting the triple, like he mentions here, if you get 3 prefixes and a bad roll, I would need to start over at essences or keep suffix. That's actually a third option here. A third option is annulling, just using a normal annul orb and hoping to hit the prefix, because then you can do this exalt step again without removing the suffixes. And then here comes the thing that's neat. Ashling T4 to apply a veil modifier. This has about a 90% chance of giving me life or a void. He wants the life, right? So by forcing the scorn on here, he basically blocks. This is not something that's very common in PoE, but let me find it. Body armor. I'll find this real quick for you. And I think it's fine that we go through these steps, that I don't just skip to it so you can see what I'm doing. Basically, what he is doing is he is crafting on this mod. I need to do... I need to have Exalt here. Oh, not Chaos. Right, Exalt. Okay, let me show you what he's doing. Oh, I could have put the essence on there. Right. When you see this thing happen in POB, this means that this mod is blocked. The trick here, right, so that you can see the same thing if I said influence a hunter. Right, if I go hunter influence here and I craft on this mod, you can see now this would be blocked if you have double, and this would be blocked. The unveil. Right? Same trick. So now when he unveils, but this is a prefix. So now when he does the unveil trick to get a on the prefix, his suffix is blocking his prefix. That's kind of neat. So he has a much higher chance to hit this mod, which is the one he wants to get the life on there. But this is one of those few instances where a suffix shares a prefix modifier, and they share the same spot, even though they're not a suffix or they're not both a suffix or prefix. So you can block one and metacraft on the other and blocking it through the suffix. That's kind of neat. So well done on you there, Kriparian. Still has the golden touch. It's good to see him play PoE. I like it. So that's cool. I know it's a long video, and I hope you guys learned something and my thought process about veiled items and crafting. So now, do you guys have any tricks, tips, anything you do? What's your favorite little crafting trick? Please share. And with that, I'm done. I'm gonna click this thing. I'm gonna leave you, and I'm not gonna tell you what this is. Bye.